What is going on, guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today we have an exciting video for you. We're putting the Eclipse back together. Thanks to a very generous donation in the last video, we now have a good short block. Well, we haven't confirmed that yet. We're going to take it apart and make sure that the bearings and the crankshaft and all of that are good before we put it in, to save ourselves a little bit of work on the off chance that it is bad. But we're going to go through all of that today, and hopefully it's good. And then we can get this car back on the road. Before we get started, I need to get changed. I don't want to ruin my nice clothes. Alright, there we go. Now we're ready to go. Let's go ahead and take a look at where we're starting. Alright, so as you guys have seen in previous videos, the motor is out of the Eclipse. This car still has air conditioning, power steering, cruise control. It's completely stock. Here's the motor that's going into it. So this is actually a 96 bolt cylinder head. I know that because this right here is the 90 cam angle sensor or cam position sensor, whatever you want to call it. These actually have like a pigtail clip on them instead of just the clip like the 91 Plus has. So we're gonna have to switch that out. I have a timing light, so we'll be able to get that set up again once the motor is running. Besides that, this looks like just a stock head. I have not pulled the valve cover yet. Oh, here is the underside of the head. Looks very nice. I don't see any problems with this. Should treat us very well. And I'm not running an MLS head gasket, so I'm not worried about decking this. I will kind of clean up all the little marks from the old gasket before we install the new gasket, but besides that, I am just running a OEM composite head gasket, so I'm not super worried about any of that. Now onto the motor. This thing is still hooked up to the cherry picker after I pulled it out of the Pilot. Here it is. It looks pretty good. I haven't noticed anything that kind of stands out, but we're gonna put it up on the stand and double check on some things. I tried to crank it over a little bit yesterday, and it's a little tough. Might just be from sitting. This thing's been sitting for quite a while. Remain seal is on it. Doesn't really look like it's leaking. Looks like that's, well, I have a rear main seal and the rear main seal gasket, so I think we might just replace that because it's here, and I really don't feel like pulling the motor out again. Got the dowels that I wrecked, so that's cool. There is a knock sensor on this one. I also do have a newer knock sensor. This engine already has the balance shaft deleted. You can see it's got a freeze plug in here. I think I'm gonna pull this front case off and just check on the oil pump and replace the gasket because I do have an extra gasket, so I figure I might as well. And then we'll kind of clean up the rest of the surface because this almost looks like it was sealed with RTV where the water pump is. Yeah, that's RTV for sure. So gotta get that off. We have actual gaskets for our water pump. And I have a whole beautiful box of parts sitting right here. We have our brand new Mitsubishi composite head gasket. That's just a factory head gasket. It is not the MLS. We have a Mitsubishi front case gasket. I am, however, not going to use this one on this car. I'm going to save this one for later because this is like a $16 gasket. So I'm going to save that for a different motor that I build. I have another one of these gaskets that's just a basic like Felpro type gasket. I'm going to use that. I've got a bunch of new pulleys and stuff. Again, some of these I'm going to save. I think I'm going to run some of the stuff that came with the Eclipse. Instead of going super crazy, I'm going to save some of this new expensive nice Mitsubishi stuff that I got. Got a set of just basic ARP 6-bolt head studs. I've actually never had a set of these. In my Talon, I have Modern Automotive Performance's H11 head studs. So that'll be kind of fun to have an experience with. I mean, it's really no different than anything else. We have oil seal for the front case. I actually have another one as well. This one probably is just fine. I pulled this off of the front case on the, oh no, this is the rear main seal. Yeah, this is the rear main seal. This one was on the Eclipse to begin with. We could probably reuse this one. It doesn't seem like there's any damage to it. It still feels and looks pretty good, so I don't know, we might look into that as well. And then I have a whole bunch of parts that I cleaned. I'm also not entirely sure if we're going to use all of this. I have some other stuff as well, just like miscellaneous other gaskets and brackets and stuff like that. I did say in the last video that the block from this car is getting powder coated. We're gonna end up building a nice motor out of that. I don't know where that's gonna go. I don't know when that's gonna be, but that is going to be in the future. So I'm trying to save some of the nice Mitsubishi OEM stuff that I just bought for that build so that I can make a really nice build out of this. And since this car is just going to be stock and a daily driver, I'm trying to save as much money as I can on putting it back together and really just use parts that should be just fine for a car that's going to be on a 13B or 14B, which I also have a 14B that came from the car that I picked up in the last video as well. So we could upgrade the turbo on this one as well, but again, down the road, I'm going to put it back to stock right now. So anyways, I've talked for a long time. Sorry, I've had a lot of caffeine and like half a Red Bull. I'm excited to get going. Let's just get right into it. I don't know what a normal bearing looks like. It's got some little lines in it where it looks like something might have went through at one point. I have a whole new set of bearings. I think I'm just gonna throw them all in. They came with the car, they're literally free, they might as well go into the car. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this crankshaft pulled out and we'll throw the new bearings in. Alright, well I guess my camera stopped recording at one point while I was doing all the reinstallation. But everything's there, everything's just tight. I'm going to have the Chilton manual, it's over there. But I'm going to go through and find the torque specs, and I have torque wrenches. We're going to torque everything. I just got the gasket surfaces cleaned up on the block. I did where the oil pan's going to mount. I will still need to clean up, well, actually the oil pan looks pretty nice, so I shouldn't need to clean up the oil pan. Just dry it off really and make sure that there's no debris in there. The bearings are dry. I didn't use assembly lube, but I am going to prime the oil pump before I time it and I am ready to start it, so I think it'll be okay. We'll rotate it around and make sure everything's going to be good once the head is on. Alrighty, so we have gotten a few things done. I've been pretty much just chatting with Matthew and working on this, and I didn't have the camera rolling. The rear main seal is on. It has a new gasket, new seal. The oil strainer is on. The front case is on. I had to transfer the frost plug from the old front case, and as well as the stubby shaft from the old front case. That is right down there. So now the balance shaft delete should be just fine. At this point, I am ready to put the oil pan on. And I got some nice RTV to go on that. We'll get that all nice and sealed up. From there, we flip it over and we start working on putting the head on, I believe. We'll have to see what we get to. I'm just kind of working my way through everything. Well, in typical Alex Talon fashion, I wasn't recording for a long time, and look what we have now. Oh hey, it's an engine. This is the old timing belt. I was just mocking this up. But the intake manifold is on. I was already connecting some of the vacuum lines again. I got the new, these are the pulleys that came with the car. I'm just gonna run them, they seem fine. The new water pump is on. I have to take the water pipe back off because I forgot to put the bracket on that goes right here. I have the tensioner on and it's set. This is the tensioner that came with this block actually, so it seems good, it looks nice, it compresses nice. I'm gonna just kind of run it. I can't fill it with oil yet because I'm gonna prime the oil pump before I time the motor, otherwise I'd have it timed already, but I need to wait for the RTV to set so that I can put oil in it. So tomorrow I'll be putting oil in it. We'll be priming the motor. I want to make sure that all those bearings have oil and that everything else gets oil. And then timing it, finishing off this side. I actually have like timing covers and stuff for it. None of them are really all that nice, but I have acquired a couple of timing covers, so that's cool. I have the upper part too. The turbos still gotta go back on, the exhaust manifold, but I'm obviously waiting on this bracket right here. It is now 11:50. I've been here since, it was probably about 3 o'clock, so about 9 hours I've been just kind of messing around with this, taking my time. It's been a while since I've rebuilt one of these, and I've never actually just fully rebuilt one of these. That's also why I took my time and did not have the camera rolling, because like I literally would have ran out of memory. Thanks for watching, thanks for liking, thanks for subscribing, thanks for all that. You guys are awesome. We'll see you in the next one.